BiomedRx Optimum Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzyme. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
Hi, this is Devin Lockett, the president of JobSite Route. As the son of a general contractor, I know how difficult it can be to get good food on the job site. And letting your construction workers leave the job site to buy lunch just takes valuable time away from them being on the site. I've developed an app and a program that will bring a steady stream of food trucks to your job sites every month for the low price of only $100 per month per site. That comes up to about $3 per day to have a steady stream of food trucks coming to your job sites all day, every working day. You can also contact the food trucks ahead of time and pre-order your food from the menu on our app. This saves valuable time for your construction workers and for you. It also sends a variety of delicious food served on Southern California food trucks to your job sites all day. When you think about it, it only makes sense to join the JobSite Route Network. And we are live. Good morning, everyone. Let me just check my levels over here and make sure that I'm still up. How you guys doing? I hope everybody's enjoying the new year. Happy New Year again. Happy 2023. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of things. I wanted to share a little story with you about some things that I've been going through with my son Kai Kai. Now, you guys know, if you follow my channel, you understand that I have been closing the BiomedRx. I have closed the BiomedRx Health Center, and in the process, I decided to give away pretty much all of the furniture that we had in the BiomedRx Health Center. Now, of course, I've kept my goods, my supplements, my magnets and stuff you see behind me, and all of the things that I use to perform holistic health therapies. But since the clinic itself was a labor of love, not only for my own son, but for all of the other children that I was able to help with the health center, since the clinic was a labor of love, I decided to give away instead of selling or trying to sell. I did try to sell some stuff for about 2 weeks. It didn't really work out right. So I decided to go ahead and give away and continue to bless people. Well, it was kind of serendipitous that I encountered that one of the beneficiaries of my generosity was a couple, and they had a child, and they were telling me that they needed furniture because their child was tearing up the furniture in their home, right? And that's understandable. We know that condition as pandas. Those of us who are in the mental health or in the autism treatment industry, we understand that condition as pandas. And pandas is what happens to young men, young males, when they start reaching the age of testosterone. And if they're not deliberately confused or abused during that period of time, or even if they, whether they are or whether they're not, they can tend to explode into rage, especially when you're dealing with children who have trouble expressing themselves, such as the children who are experiencing the symptoms that are known as the autism spectrum or autism spectrum disorder. And this is something that I'm very familiar with. This is something that I'm not, this is a condition that I'm not unfamiliar with in my practice, right, of not only neurofeedback, but biomagnetic pair therapy. Now, although I won't be able to provide neurofeedback services, I don't want to really. I do it for my son, and I do it for myself here at home. But I won't be able to provide that for the public because I don't have an open health center. I still have a wealth of knowledge about how to address the situations, the conditions of children who are suffering from ADD, ADHD, autism, and a host of other conditions, right? As well as veterans or others that are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder and the normal dark triad cocktail of anxiety, stress, and depression. I can treat it all, pretty much, any neurological situation. I've also acquired knowledge of such supplements as BiomedRx CBD and dimethyl sulfoxide, zinc, iodine, magnesium, and a lot of other things that I talk about, bentonite clay, haritaki, kadukai podi, a lot of other supplements that also can help the children to reach a state of stability, emotional and mental stability, as well as cognitive stability, right? Clarity, focus, being able to sleep properly, return of a normal appetite, and everything. So I felt great compassion for this couple, a couple of ladies, and their child that they described on the spectrum. So while I'm giving them my furniture, while I'm just relinquishing for free, all right, a sofa and desk and table and stuff, everything that they might need, right, for their home, I'm trying to talk to them about things that they can do to help their child, because they were saying that they're getting furniture because the child tears up all of the furniture in the house. He's already torn up the furniture in the house, okay? So I understand. I totally understand. I was there. So like I said, I tried to explain to them as best I could the things that they can do for their child that I have learned over the past 8 years of running the BiomedRx Health Center. And I did my best to do that. I did my best to give them as many tips as they can. I wasn't able to do that because one of the ladies, I would presume the wife of the two, I don't know which roles they were playing, was very, very adamant about nothing. Just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking about nothing really germane to the subject. And she was preventing herself from actually learning what it was that I was trying to teach her to help her child. But she was, what appeared to me, looking for every opportunity to refer to this child as them, they, them, they, them, they, them. Okay, well, I understand that. If that's your political slant on the world, I don't care. You're never going to make me adapt your pronouns. And why do you feel the need to be the preacher of wokeism when I'm trying to tell you how to help your child? Now, see, if this were in fact her biological child, she would shut up and just listen to me and try to help my child instead of try to help her child instead, or take notes, right? I think the smart thing to do would have been take notes. But it seems like it wasn't her biological child. This is a child that they were using as a social experiment. And if this child is suffering from any type of condition, and at the same time is under the constant pressure from these parents to be a they or a them, or I don't know, wear a dress around the house. I really don't know what kind of psychological and emotional abuse this poor child is suffering from right now. But it made me quite concerned, not because I couldn't get a word in edgewise, because it's not really about me being heard, right? But what it is, in fact, about is what I started the BiomedRx Health Center for in the first place, to help children, to help this child, right? And I don't care what their gender is. I really don't. The symptoms that they described to me were the symptoms of PANDAS. And PANDAS is a uniquely male experience because of the levels of testosterone that are in the male body. So I think it was the flags. I think it was because I had 2 American flags in my office, right? And I think that may have had something to do with it. I don't know for sure, right? I can't really say for sure, but you know, when they came into the office and you know, I had Old Glory here, right here next to my cat. I had Old Glory hanging in the office, and for those of you on my other channel, I'm going to give you guys a chance to see as well. What is it? This one, yeah. As you can see, you know, I'm a rather patriotic fella. I'm an American. I live in the best country in the world, and I don't see why I should apologize for that. Do you? But you know, here we are in a very mean-spirited time in our history. And you know, I happen to live here in Southern California, so it's very interesting. It's even more interesting because Southern California is full of leftists, full of American leftists that have all kind of negative emotion and angst and anxiety and anger and rage toward you know, normative people, and a resentment for society, a resentment for the patriarchy, and a resentment for history, a resentment of everything, right? And I really pity people who go through their lives with such negative emotions bottled up inside themselves on a continual basis. It's it's very tragic that people are experiencing this in their life experience. You know, I will say that until my dying day. My heart reaches out to them with compassion. I want to put my arms around them and tell them, what the fuck's wrong with you? But at the same time,
even superheroes and supermodels need a daily dose of nutrients to help make life more super. BiomedRx Supplements is making it easy to get exactly what you need. From kids to seniors, they've got something for everyone. Pretty cool, right? Check out their products at BiomedRxSupplements.com.
Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, this guy's kind of goofy. Anyway, yeah, so what made it stupid, right? What made it really stupid is that in the process of me giving them furniture and really doing my best to help them and giving them as much information as I could give them to help their child, as I have helped my own, right? She didn't hear me. She didn't hear me though, right? You don't hear me though. She didn't hear me though. And she, like I said, she was more focused on speaking nothing, saying nothing of any value, because it gave her the opportunity to say them, they, and to strip the significance of this poor boy's gender from the conversation. And in the meantime, between giving them health tips, holistic health tips on how to help their child, I'm telling them, hey, don't forget the screws to the table, and don't forget the brackets to the sofa, and don't forget the legs over here, and don't forget these extra parts for the things that I'm giving you for free. Well, and also, here's my business card, and here's a brochure. The cell phone is the same number. You can feel free to call me at any time with any questions that you have, because I am still here with an open heart. Even though I have a closed health center, I'm still here with an open heart, ready and willing and trying and able to help your child, just as I did my own, which was the reason I opened a health center. And when they left a big jar. I mean, a big jar. It was like a candle jar, right? Full of screws and nuts and bolts and everything that went to the table that I gave them. And also the stainless steel brackets that go underneath the table that would keep it standing. Now, I'm sure at some point when they got home, they realized this, that they didn't have all of the components that they need. And I'm sure at some point they recognized the fact that I had given them both my business cards with the explicit invitation to call me if you need anything. Call me if you have any questions on how to help your child. Call me if you need me. And I am still in possession of the screws and the brackets. Well, not now, but at the time, I was still in possession of the screws and the brackets and all of the things that you forgot to take that I was trying to give you for free. But at some level, because of the world we're in right now, because of the polarized state of our country, because of the polarized state of our society, I guess these ladies considered me, a social enemy, right? And when they saw the American flags, it's just, you're in America. America is, the place that, allows such foolishness as these ideas that you decide to hold on to for dear life to exist. And yet, simply because I am representing America, because I have the flag of the United States hanging twice in my office, then I guess I'm the enemy. And this is interesting. This is an interesting observation, right? Because when there's a war, there are those who don't realize that they're in a war, and there are those who realize that they're in a war and do nothing, and there are those who fight, right? And I think maybe it's time for us to start paying attention to the conditions of our surroundings right now.
2023 is a culmination of is going to become, or it seems to be set to become, the culmination of a lot of preparation, a lot of destructive preparation that has been done to us by the powers that be, I'm not going to say any names, to divide and conquer this nation. And now that there is no active protest or election or anything like that going on, now is when we see the seething reality of where we are. And it makes me very sad. I'm very concerned about this because there is an air of meanness in America right now, and I don't like what I see. There's an air of meanness, cruelty, and disregard among the citizens of the United States. Much of it has to do with the importation of third world values. Americans are not racist, although, by and large, although many people consider patriotic Americans or so-called right-wing Americans to be racist. This is a heterogeneous society. Most Americans are proud of the fact that this is the most successful the first large-scale experiment in a heterogeneous society and the most successful large-scale experiment in a heterogeneous society in the world. This doesn't mean that our diversity is our strength. Our diversity can be a hindrance, yet we should be proud of the fact that our country is very successful, not because of it, but in spite of it. And the reason I say this is because many people, including many people who I've recently done business with, of course, feel entitled to be born somewhere else and to come and live their lives here until they die. Many people feel entitled to America, and they don't consider America a country. They consider it more of a playground that's available to everyone, like Disneyland. Everybody can just go there. And many people come with the ideas that they have accumulated through the years of not living in the United States, but growing up in whatever country, of their country of origin is. Things that they've learned from the television, which is very, very dangerous because the people, of course, in control of the American media are, by and large, enemies of the United States, enemies of the state. And so the images that they project in the zeitgeist to control us, to control the way we think here in the United States, unfortunately have the unintended or maybe even intended effect of influencing the minds and the attitudes of people who don't know shit about America, but they learn about it through watching television in their home country. And so when they come here, they're coming with some really foolish expectations and misconceptions and delusions about what life in America is. One of those delusions is the cutthroat, fuck you, I'm going to look out for myself, look out for number one, Machiavellian, selfish mentality. That does not represent American culture. I'm sorry if maybe you watched the movie Wall Street or the Wolf of Wall Street or whatever when you were growing up and you thought that that's what life in America was going to be about. But it's not. We actually are a community of people that have a certain level of respect and love and consideration for each other. There is a culture here. There was a culture here before you came, and we are hoping and begging and praying that you can learn to assimilate to this culture so that we can live cohesively, because we can't take the importation of third world value systems. The reason you had to leave your country, the reason your country was a place worth leaving, is because the conditions are reflective of the attitudes of the people who live there. Just like the conditions of the American ghettos, the blight in the American ghettos are the result of the mentality and the mores and belief systems and the attitudes of the people who live there. We understand this. Blight is a state of mind. Ghetto is a state of mind. Third world is a state of mind. And this is something that we really can't change. Now, if you think every culture is equal and every country is equal, then why are you here? Welcome, by the way, welcome. You are welcome. But why are you here? I've lived and worked in over 50 countries in this world, and that's a lot. That's a lot. And everywhere I've gone in my entire life, I've shown honor and respect to the locals, the nationals, the culture, the people, never broken laws in foreign countries, never disrespected, never dishonored the people. And I did my best to raise the quality of their health care to the standards that we enjoy here in the United States. And I believe if you're going to be a globalist, then first you should be a nationalist in your own country. And if you are from the best country in the world, which is what the United States is, then you have the opportunity, not an obligation, but you have the opportunity to help raise the quality of life in countries that are developing countries. I really hate that term. I hate that term worse than second world and third world, but we have to describe it some way. Less developed countries.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
Yes. Yes. The people that are in less developed countries, right? They deserve our help, right? When I work in Haiti, I work for free. I don't charge. I brought X-ray to the Sacred Heart Catholic Mission in Milot, Haiti. It's the only place within a 5-mile radius where there's running water, and it was good. It was a good experience. It's good for the soul. It's good for the heart. It's good for the character. It's good for your self-worth to reach and help people who are less fortunate than you are. This is the American spirit. The American spirit is not racism to be corrected by the third world mentality of immigrants, right? The American spirit is a beautiful thing, and it's a great thing. Welcome, and please respect and honor us so that we may teach you how to live as an American. Okay? Because American culture is not, German beer and sushi, right? American culture is what we have developed here in the United States as a way of living together and cooperating that has produced the highest standard of living in the world, and still, to this day, the most powerful economy in the world. But I'm talking to you, and you know who I'm talking to if you follow my channels. I'm talking to you, and what I'm saying right now is we have to recognize where we are, because we are surrounded with people that really need to be educated on this, right? You're going to find political opposition in society, because you're going to find a lot of people who, back in the day, the Republican Party was called the GOP, the Grand Old Party, because it was a hodgepodge of disinterested, parties that were disinterested in each other, right? Unrelated parties that had a common objective, right? And so that's where the symbol of the elephant came from, right? The Grand Old Party, the GOP. Well, now the Democrat Party seems to be representative of that. So you're going to find people from various parts of the world that support a leftist agenda simply because it's within their interests and the interests of their family members that they still want to import into our country. You're going to find people because of their sexual orientation, feeling a sense of loyalty, right, to leftism, even without, trying not to own up to the extreme leftism and all of the ridiculousness, but you can't. All right, you can't take one without the other, because they feel as though their sexual orientation defines them politically, and so therefore they must join hands with the people who don't want secure borders, and the people who want to send our money to worthless, useless, expensive wars. The people who are responsible for the inflation that we're suffering right now. The people who abandon all of our gear and our supporters in Afghanistan. I mean, it's a terrible time right now. And you're going to find people who are willing to support all of this ugliness and all of this foolishness because of their own interest, because they feel as though they identify with the ridiculousness simply on the basis of the identity that they choose to hold. Now, it used to be that the fringe or the immigrant community or, the extremes of our society in all direction still held on to the American adage that I may not agree with what you say, but I would fight to the death to defend your right to say it. Right? I've even uttered those words myself with sincerity when I was in the military. And that's the America that I live in, and that's the America that I will always live in. But cancel culture belongs to the left. Immigrant culture belongs to the left. The letter community belongs to the left. You're going to find, the feminist community belongs to the left. The black community has been split down the middle, and by and large, most black women belong to the left, especially now that they actually think the last election was legitimate and that they actually won it. That's interesting. So things are going to get difficult here, right? Just hold your head, keep your head about you, keep your prayers, keep your relationship with Almighty God, keep your family intact, have children if you can. Don't do that thing in your arm. Don't do that thing. And you already know better than to do that thing. Better times are coming. It may get worse before it gets better. It may get downright nasty before it gets better. But it will get better. Okay? And, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I want you guys to have a great time, great day. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, comment, share the video, and all the rest of that stuff. I really appreciate that. Bring up the algorithm for me. And if you like what I have to say, or if you don't like what I have to say, make your comments. Okay, I'm not afraid of controversy. Right? This is Devin Lockett, holistic wellness life coach. Okay, holistic wellness life coach. Subscribe to DevinLockett.com. Bookmark DevinLockett.com and DevinLockett.tv. And I guess I'll see you guys on another video later on today. I'm going to be taking care of some therapy and everything with my son Kai Kai, and we're going to be doing some cleaning up. As you can see, I still have my my studio office here in a shambles because I'm still unpacking my health center. And yeah, so anyway, it's going to be a great week. It's going to be a great new year. Stay kind, stay blessed, stay healthy. Peace.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate free, gluten free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
BiomedRx Optimum Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.